I guess so, yeah. Okay, so this Tango on Air is not live. It's not a regular meeting. It's pairing on 390, and we want to do some setup things on issue 390, like how to set up a mail catcher gem, adding more test cases, how to add variables to translation files. Anything else? I think this is it for today. Faith was with us before I sent her away, but now I want her back.
Yeah.
I messed up the times a little bit. I messed up the time because I was I thought it's 12 p.m. but it's not. It's 1 p.m.
Yeah, I think you got that in your head because we were talking about doing it that time, and then I'm like, oh, no, I'm going to start the React mob, but then didn't work.
Yeah. Okay, at least you will join us in 1 hour from now. I guess I'll just share my screen, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm currently on the master branch, and on the left side, it's. Can you hear me actually? Because it's very windy outside.
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
So do you hear some swooshing from the wind or something?
Yeah, a little bit. But
It doesn't. Is it annoying?
no.
It's very windy outside. Okay. Anyhow, okay, I'll just continue. So it's currently installing packages. I'm a little bit worried because I don't have so much space left on my machine. So 15 gigabytes. I hope this will be enough.
Is there a particular reason why you want to do your development with the Docker? Is it just to test it out?
I just want to also double check that we can actually develop in the Docker environment.
Yeah.
So Aditya was making me aware of the problem with binding pry, and so I would just want to get some experience working in the Docker environment.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, I was doing it yesterday a bit with Mike, and I don't know. I guess it's good if you want to test it out and make sure that people are able to actually use it. But other than that, I think like I much prefer doing things locally.
It's faster being locally, right? So, and it's if it's working locally, you have all the dependencies. It's easier also.
So, did you in your experience like using it so far? You need to make a change locally, and then you need to rebuild it to pull in the local changes.
I did that, yeah, now because there were other like updates and so on, and so I'm currently building the Docker files again, and also I think I deleted them for getting more disk space.
Yeah,
I have to build.
I mean, I don't know if you've had experience like we. So I was just saying, like what we've seen so far with the website Docker is that like just as the regular workflow, like because Docker doesn't track the local changes, it builds the container based off of an image of your local like what your local repo looks like, and then once you make a change to that, like if you change the header on one page, for example, and you can't just go and refresh the page because Docker's not paying attention to your local changes. So you need to go there and you need to say Docker compose up with the tag build, which will like use the caching so it'll build quickly, but it still needs to copy over all the local changes into the.
Nah, the volumes are this file here. The folder is automatically synchronized with the Docker container and the host system, so it should reflect. You don't need to run Docker compose up all the time.
Really? Okay. So yeah, I'd like to see that because I guess that's consistent with what you were saying. Like you were a bit confused about how we those volumes were preventing us from seeing any changes even on rebuild. and you were saying that it was the opposite for you. So maybe we need to be using the volumes. We just need to be using properly.
Yeah, definitely. So this should work with Docker Compose.
Yeah, right. Maybe yeah, it's annoying. I'm making changes to a branch, and then I'm not ready to commit them, but I don't want to stash them either. And I would be nice to be able to pop over to the other branch and make some changes. Also, as well, I think Sam's probably going to get annoyed with. I think this is going to be like the 27th PR we're putting in for Docker. Like, and there's no, like, he was asking if there was a way that we can actually test the Docker setup. You know, like.
Yeah, of course. You can just set up your build server to run on the Docker containers.
Set up what to run?
Huh?
Set up what to run?
Yeah, the build server. You can run Docker on the build server.
Well, so I guess like the thing is that the changes that we're making, like the Docker setup runs without failing and builds, and you can open up the browser, like it starts the server, but then at first we were getting to a place where you could open up the server and no errors, but then when you tried to visit the actual page, then you got errors. So I'm not so then we worked through that problem, and then it was working fine. But then it was like when the person makes changes locally, you couldn't refresh. When refreshing the page, it wasn't shown. Even rebuilding rebuilding, like using the caching, but copying over the local changes again didn't show the changes. So these kind of things is like, I think maybe wouldn't fail on those kind of builds.
Yeah, that sucks. It should work in any case. Like the files should be synchronized. The server should the server should watch them and also take them into account.
Yeah. Okay.
How much is going to be downloaded here? My God, building Sidekick.
Yeah. So
how far did we get? So this is the front end. Okay, it's Postgres. Redis is already completed. It still has to do the backend. Anyhow, okay, so I will fetch MZ99 because of the 390 branch. Do that already. Yeah. And oh, really? It's no changes here. Okay. Git branch, everything. July the 19th. Yeah, also, oh no, Mike, Joseph, and this could be interesting for you. Okay.
Did you ping, or maybe that's what you're doing right now, but listen, you say that reminded me. Did you ping Zhang to see if he's able to join us today?
Yeah, his handle on Slack is ubic00. So this is Mike Zhang.
Yep.
I find it funny because you're always telling you're talking about him as Zhang.
Yeah.
He was not Mike. Zhang is his last name.
Yeah, it's true.
It helps so to distinguish between those two Mikes.
Yeah, we could call Ono as well.
Yeah,
just call nobody Mike.
So let's see, why was the build server actually failing? I thought the tests were fixed.
No, I mean it didn't seem like it. Like I mean, I don't know. Like you would know more than me, but when you were yesterday, when you were showing the thing, it seemed like, oh, that just seems like a migration.
Yeah, just a migration error, I guess.
Yeah, it seemed like there was quite a few commits that it looked like maybe he was trying to get it to pass, but it wasn't.
Hmm.
Although I'm not sure. That's just what it seemed like from looking yesterday at them.
I don't want to switch into this branch because I guess I will have some undesired side effects on the Docker part.
Yeah, I've heard it sometimes causes issues. Although I've done it before where I was switching in between branches and I didn't notice any ill effects.
And do you know a way if I can, for example, merge the this branch 390 from this remote into the current master? Actually, I just say yeah, I think I can for now merge it into current master. So okay, so the last commit was from 3 days ago. Added translation to models mailer 9cc. So log mz 90. Just July the 19th. This is not possible. This is not the correct branch. Ah, this one here.
There's a revised branch.
Ah, so this is actually not on his remote. He was correctly on. He was pushing it to origin. All right, so let's say merge this. Yeah, okay, origin. Okay, so this should be no problem at all. So this should not interfere with the Docker setup. I think. I hope.
Yeah. Anyways.
Okay. What else can we do for now? So we could, for example, I think it's okay to run the migrations on my host system because they should not interfere either with the
yeah, but I mean, if the isn't the purpose to test to see if you can do that stuff locally though? I mean, not locally with Docker. It's like a person who's using this to develop locally is not going to be able to run those commands locally. They're going to need to run through Docker Compose.
Yeah, so we're doing many things at a time. The build server is using structure SQL.
But you should still be you should still be able to run the migrations through Docker Compose.
Yeah, the build server is not running Docker or anything like that. So all of this, we cannot fix that in the Docker container. However,
so that means that that a person who's developing using the Docker instance would not be able to add migrations, or I mean that I question whether that's actually true.
Migrations, but you have to commit them. If you run migrations, since the the container is synchronized with the host system, the changes should show up on the host system as well. And you can commit them on the host system and push that.
Yeah.
That should work.
Yeah, no, I get that. But then you still need to be able to run those migrations to be able to continue developing.
You can run the migrations inside the Docker container, and
yeah, that's what I mean.
Everything should just work.
Yeah. So I'm just wondering why you're not doing that step in Docker Compose.
Because the Docker is not ready. Like it's still installing things in the backend.
Okay. Oh, cool. All right.
So I have to wait in any case. I did the migrations on the host system, and I'm trying to push it to the branch here.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I got a calendar notification that in half an hour there's this RFM pairing. Oh no, I should check my calendar.
You're gonna be ready.
Yeah. So this doesn't work. It push to another brand name brand. Why it's not working? Huh. Okay. So we can trigger the build server in the meantime. And have a colon here. Okay, there we go. It takes so long. Okay, and in the meantime, since we're on it, we can, for example, on the tests. See how they go. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, there are a lot of tests failing. This is not how it should be. I'm already doing the test case. It was missing. Yes. While waiting for the backend request to finish. There must be something very critical here. I guess it's Sidekick. I would bet it's Sidekick.
Hello.
Huh? How's it going?
Oh,
hi.
Nice of you to join us. We haven't done a lot, to be honest. We were just getting Docker up and running and having a quick look at what the latest commits were on the branch that Mike Zheng was working on, and getting those merged in. And yeah, then Robert was just explaining that there's quite a lot of tests that are failing for some reason that we're not immediately sure why.
Yeah.
Okay.
What? God!
SCR.
Oh. Huh? Okay. Can be the one of it can be related to the new dependencies. So I'm going to check what has changed. Does that work? No. Is the master currently broken? No, it's not. I mean, a new version of the geocoder might possible that it's using a different cassette. Like we're doing HTTP requests from time to time. Let's run once more. Sample only the models. See why the other texts are failing.
Okay. This person looks like a similar issue.
A lot of model tests.
Yeah. Faith shared a link to VCR issues.
Invalid local data. Unhandled HTTP request. Why are there so many? A lot of invalid local data stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's see. So this could be related to the changes of Mike Jung. Mapping. What kind of mapping? Line 33. So he was using a colon. The colon is a syntax part from YAML. So if you want to escape colons, you can just put everything in quotation marks. You should rather use single quotation marks.
YAML files are so sensitive to so many things.
Do we have other quotation marks? Other colons? It's going to get rainy here. I'll rather switch to another room soon. So where? Here it is. 935. What's wrong here? Yeah, same thing again. And continue. So I wonder why this is why this test fails. Why this doesn't fail on the build server. Wow, so many. Line 21. This is rather annoying coding. I don't think you're going to learn a lot here. Okay, here I have to use double quotation marks because there's a single quotation mark somewhere in there. And while I'm on it, I can do the same thing here. There you go. So this looks much better. Where's the Docker content? Okay, so Docker is up. Only a couple of CR errors. Why is this not failing on the Docker, like on the Travis server? Do you have any idea why this could not maybe fail on the Travis server? Faith and Matt?
No. I mean, I could try to have a look at the build and see what's. Yeah, I mean that doesn't make any sense because if it's, I would imagine the build would be running RSpec, and if it's running RSpec, then they should fail the same way. Hold on, I can come here to Travis and have a closer look at the passing.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to another room. It's getting very dark behind me. It's starting to rain.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was raining here yesterday.
Yeah, it's currently we're on a drought here in Germany, so I'm actually very glad that it's rainy because we didn't had any rain since maybe 3 months or so. Like all the fish were dying in the rivers because it got so warm, and the water was going down. So having some rain is definitely a good thing at the moment.
Yeah, Ruben is complaining in the latest build, but
I'm quickly going to close the door.
Okay.
yeah, so you are getting some errors here, invalid locale data in the build that's running right now. Syntax error. Yeah. Yep. Interesting.
So the issue is it's failing. This is the main. This is master.
Did he switch to master?
This is master.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
What branch are you on?
I'm currently on. So I was on. I just merged the branch. What was it?
Yeah, so the branch master failed the build that it just ran less than a minute ago.
Yeah. So I was merging the 390 monthly email list revised into master. However, I think I can check out. Fix syntax errors in locales. Add missing test case. Okay, so I'm back on the 390 branch, and let's see if going into the backend container, if the tests are failing there as well. Oh yeah, first of all, let's run the migrations. And then run the tests. You're still there? Yes, you are. Okay. Fine. Is the log output of the database.
Have you installed an extension to see that?
What?
This one here? Yeah.
No, it's just Docker Compose up. It's just logging the output of other containers.
Okay.
We still have some failing test cases here. Shall we switch the driver at some point? Imagine Face, shall we switch the driver maybe on 3 p.m.?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Oh, I forgot to enter Tmux again. Oh, I hate it. Tmux. I still haven't scrolled back, so. Something again. But I'm glad that it's the tests are working on Docker container. Right. So yeah, this was failing. Very interesting. Yeah, these are the syntax errors. Those should be fixed. I guess I can trigger the build server again. How about just pushing that one for now? Why not? Interesting. Permission denied. What? However, I'm on 390 monthly email list revised, and let's push that for now. And now I can do scroll back. So just VCR errors. VCR. Okay, one way of fixing those, checking those, what actually changed is we are. Do you know VCR, Matt and Faith?
Faith says she'd be right back in the chat. And I've heard of VCR. I don't know a lot about it. We use it in, I think it's used in Locusport and in website one. And I've seen it like you need to actually, when you're running Cucumber, you need to actually add the tag to the top if you wanted to use VCR. And it has to do, if I'm not mistaken, although I might be getting confused with Puffy Billy, but it has to do with like retrying the test if it fails. So that instead of just failing the build, it tries it again. And because there's some intermittent failing tests that are not to do with the implementation not being, or the functionality not working, but to do with like JavaScript not waiting and things like that.
Actually, VCR is storing, it's mocking an HTTP request, or it's recording it. Let's say you have a test, and you are doing some kind of request to the outside world, to the internet.
Yep.
And we're doing geolocations, for example.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that makes sense then.
And then the response is recorded in a YAML file.
Yep.
So I'm simply removing the YAML files which are currently.
So I think we have a task in with that you can use in, I think, in Locusport and website one, that's like a rake task that cleans out all those.
Mm-hmm.
So you just like run rake, what is it? Rake VCR. Rake VCR Billy Cache's reset is the name of the rake task, and then that will clean out all, because it's annoying when you're trying to see your git status, and then it's like, you know, populated, the entire screen is populated by the cassettes.
What are cassettes? What are VCRs?
So Robert was just explaining that like it mocks a request, an HTTP request. So if you're asked if you want to actually send some information, like in this case for a geolocation, then it will mock that, and it will send it to a YAML file, recorded in a YAML file.
Okay. And then
and then you can look at it. I'm not or you can remove it. The only thing I've ever seen is they get removed, so I'm not sure that they're useful for anything, but I guess they are.
Right now, I don't know why so in my Docker container, I am the root user, and if something is created, then also the ownership goes to root, which is not quite what I want.
Yeah, we were dealing with that the other day.
How can we fix that?
And we ended up adding a chmod, but then it turned out that we didn't need, because so I noticed that you did the chown or chown, whatever.
Yeah, change owner.
oh no.
And that didn't work. No, 25 people gave the down.
Yeah, he's suggesting, oh yeah, we don't need this feature. You can just change the ownership of everything after the synchronizing. And I don't like this solution. Like,
no, it doesn't seem like a very good solution. Seems more like a dirty hack than a solution.
oh, nice. We have a power outage. That's interesting. So our house was hit by a lightning bolt, I guess.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
How are you still talking to us?
Yeah. So, or maybe there's to look that up. So in this room, which I am in right now, the fuse protection.
Uh-huh.
Safety catch, circuit breaker. I guess the circuit, yeah, so it's electric, yeah. So the circuit breaker for this room was maybe blown away. I don't know. It's dark in here, and I still can talk to you because the router is in another room, which is apparently not affected. Okay,
Wow.
I still have 88%. I'm not going downstairs now. Yeah, so let's do this quick fix he was suggesting and simply change on everything. Robert, and
Sudo. Do what I tell you.
Now can see what has happened. Yeah, so apparently this GAM is using a different provider. This is the cassette. It's recording like the response. Yeah, and of course, last time I did that was on August 2017 with VCR 3.3, and now it's VCR 4.4. But for me, this is okay. This looks quite okay. So here we have failing test because something. Oh, yeah. So, okay, I see. Okay, this is interesting though. Andalusia. But the point here is I'm happy as long as the values are set and not nil. So this is something. This is problematic. This is okay. Why is, I mean, state code should be an abbreviation. Why is the new provider of geocode giving me the name? Okay, Ruby geocoder. But this is the good point about software testing. You always you get notified by changes. Geocode. What is it? Geocoder. Huh? Releases. It's still 1.4. Yeah, right. The VCR was version 4, not geocoder. So this is 90 ago. That makes sense. Do they have release notes? No. Okay. But something internally has changed. Git grab geocode. Are you still with me? Do you see what I'm doing here? Like what I'm currently checking out?
Yeah.
You're struggling because Dependabot automatically upgraded you, and now there's differences between. Yeah.
Did you talk to your friend?
No.
He's against.
No. We had the hack night last night, and normally he's there, but this time he couldn't. He said he's busy and stuff. And then we did it remotely, and then only 2 people showed up. Like when we did it in person, there was like the first time there was 7, I think, and then the second time there was like 10 or 11, I think, something like that. And then we do it like, which should be much easier, like remotely and stuff, and like, you know, barely anyone showed up. But yeah, we also had a problem.
Do you know why?
What's that?
Do you know why?
I'm not 100%. No. Like I think. No, not really. I mean, 2 of the people that like the reason we couldn't have it at the place that we had it normally, or we've had it the last 2 times. They couldn't make it, so that was expected. And then I think one of the guys, he said he was going to go, but then he said he couldn't. But I think maybe he had a thought about, like, he doesn't have a webcam and.
I'll be back in a minute, okay?
Yep. So I think like he didn't go, and then yeah, like then we ended up it ended up being like me and this one, we were doing it via Slack, the Slack app, the Slack call, because that guy Jonathan that you were with me that one time that we switched over to the Slack call because he couldn't join with Fedora.
Yeah.
And then it ended up being me and this other guy, Felipe, who helped out on the Docker stuff. Like, we ended up just doing kind of most of the talking. And yeah, then he ended up like leaving early. I'm not sure if he just got annoyed, like, I'm not actually doing any talking and I'm going to leave, or if. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's shocking as that sounds.
You are too scary.
Yeah. I mean, you know, what can I do?
This is why I join every call a few minutes late.
Okay, so I'm back.
Yep.
So here, the geocoding service is saying we have initializers. Geocode, we cannot see it. The only thing that we have here. This one is using IP info. So they switched their provider. I'm just wondering if I was the person who added IP info to the scam. I added one. Oh, no, it's IP data. I was adding IP data. They use IP info. Okay. Anyhow, so how about is using IP info? No. IP info. Yeah, this is just in the cassettes. This makes sense. I'm replacing all traces of FreeGeoIP. Seems to be a discontinued service to IP info on. Okay. On. Let's run the specs again.
So you adding the asterisk means everything after that folder.
Say it again, please.
I've seen the command you ran had an asterisk, the star, after the backslash.
The grep, you mean this command here?
No, the up. Yep, that one. The star.
Yeah.
The asterisk after.
This just removes, this wouldn't be necessary, by the way. It's removing all files in backend spec cassettes in the folder, but not the folder itself.
Okay.
So these are the files in this cassettes location right now. I was just removing everything.
I had an issue with that the other day when I was like, I want to move everything from like, I want to move the folder and all its contents to a different folder, and I was using the asterisks, and then it was moving everything from the folder, but not the folder itself, and driving me crazy. And then I realized that if you want to move the folder and all its contents, then just move the folder.
Yeah.
So. It's weird because some of them, it seems like they're using the full name, and some of them, it seems like they're using like the abbreviation, but in lowercase.
Yeah, so I was thinking there's state code should be an abbreviation. And if you go to the geocode docs, okay, let's search for state code. It says that state code should be here. It's actually an abbreviation.
Yeah, it seems like it's pulling in the states instead of the state code.
Yeah.
Right.
So here let's see what's actually going on there. So for example, line 111, no, like requests, requests, user spec 111. So expect action to change user reload state code to AL. And here we have what is action? Response. No, this is not action. Where is action? Can you see it? I cannot.
No, I just saw before action.
So patch URL params headers. Okay.
So I think what it's doing is it's cutting off the underscore code and just pulling in the state, maybe. I bet. Yeah.
So here are the params. This is the interesting part. So it's geocoding some coordinates to state codes and stuff. So this makes sense. This is somewhere in Spain, I think. We had a contributor, a girl from Spain once, and so I created a test case for her with her geolocation somewhere, I think in Malaga, which should be in So this user was changed from Potsdam. It seems to be my location to a location somewhere in Spain. Yeah, here's Malaga. And state code should be AL, not Andalusia. And I'm currently thinking if, okay, let's enter those. Just search any APRS number. What is it doing? Is this IP? No, this is configuration. IP info. HTTPS query sanitized text. Query sanitized text. Yeah. So I think it's reverse geolocation. Yeah, reverse geolocation. So it's just undocumented. Nice. Are you still there? Yes. IP address. Now this is the documentation actually going on here. Still. Okay, let's go into GAM. Which, damn it.
You can say bundle info geocode.
Thanks.
Yep.
Yeah, so lib. No. This will not work. Because it's in the container, and I added this binding pry in my home directory. Okay, no problem. Backend, bin spec models. Uses no requests. Oh, come on. The spec 111.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike. We are currently debugging a GAM called Geocoder.
Oh wow.
So I'm adding this. Yeah, this one here is in like my home folder, gam ruby 251, gams geocoder, and so on. IP info. I just added this binding pry here, hoping this is actually going to be returned. I think I have to remove backend. No, remove. No, back cassettes. Not just everything. Yeah. That again. Huh? No way. What? This cannot be true. IP info IO. IP info IO.
It's for Ruby 2.5.1 and that geocoder 1.5.0.
Possible. How can I look it up? Indeed. Okay, bin bundle. Geocoder. Same.
Yeah.
See any problems? They shouldn't.
Where is the binding.pry? In the there on base. Yeah.
Delete that one for a second.
Yeah, you're in fish. Yeah, you need a semicolon. Yeah. Yeah, I just normally put it. I'm touching the file, but I think that might work. Yeah, you don't need the and either. The semicolon is like the and.
Does it? If the fish thing fails, does it still continue?
No. Like the first command has to. Well, actually, I'm not sure. I was thinking it needed to pass the first one, but actually I'm not sure. I don't think it does.
It is. I don't know why we don't get into this cry here. Ah. This is just
if Faith's gonna have to. She's probably gonna be back in an hour though.
Actually, I just received a message. I'll be here for the next 40 minutes.
Ah, cool, awesome.
I leave after.
I'll be right back.
Okay, so here we are. So it's it's doing something completely else.
Different.
Yeah. So what does geocoder search do?
Geocoder search. Just does the normal.
It's using two different lookups for the geocoder. Like, do you get it? What's going on here?
No,
We have a lookup for IP lookup and another one for reverse geo lookup.
Okay.
They are using this one here.
Ah.
Okay, so first question, why is it actually, where are we doing here a string?
Why are we doing a string? It's even on the documentation, so they're also using a string.
Yeah, but they are using as an array here for coordinates.
Oh yeah, they're using an array for coordinates.
Okay, let's keep that for later. First thing is set and binding. No. We are here. So apparently, no binding. Nothing to revert. Okay, fair enough. What the? There it is. I guess we can just copy that. And here's the result. Maybe we can just jump in here. How about that? Ah, there we go. Nice. Yeah. It doesn't have a state code.
Only one country code. You don't have a state code.
So why would it be returning the state instead of like saying that the state there is no state code, like throwing an error?
A different geocoded provider have different results, like different yeah.
Callback.
Not all of them have the same results, and they can indeed give the right state name, but not the right state code.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering because in the test you're like expect the blah 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 dot state code to, and then instead of failing and saying like no state code, like I couldn't access this key in that hash because it doesn't exist. It's just like returning the state by default or by as a fallback.
I don't know. What happens with doc results?
I mean, I guess that doesn't happen by accident. That would be maybe something that's programmed in, like, I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's not the right.
Let's go down here.
Let's go in here. I'm trying to something like that. Oh. We have to search. Huh? Oh. Can you still follow me what I'm currently doing?
Yes. I am looking at.
I was trying to I'm trying to finish making a coffee, so to be honest. What are you currently doing?
I'm trying to try to see what I would actually like to simulate the query from the test, this dominating thing, and I want to get the exact query that this provider is trying to get. And I think I missed that we still have the query here. So let's do that again. No. Yeah. Does fetch data come from? Oh. There it is. Path raw data, fetch raw data. Is that? Oh my God. Okay, now we're going deep into the rabbit hole.
Yeah, a method that calls a method that calls a method that.
Okay, here we have even a debug output. Let's set it to debug, and we would see something. Okay. Oh. Yeah, it's just saying giving state. Yeah, apparently the default provider doesn't have a state code. Sad. We want the state code, actually. Mm-hmm. Very interesting. Bundle info geocoder 150. So maybe this was here, like he complained about the problem that we are currently facing. And this is 150. This pull request was it's way older. Okay, so this is not relevant. It sucks. I wanted to do something completely different. Country code, state code, what?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to do other things if you have tests that are failing, you know, because you need to kind of start from a place of green now.
This is DBIP, DB base. Code. So I once was implementing this provider here, and I'm considering to actually use that one instead of the IP info configuration. So let's do that. We still have some binding price somewhere. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I just did I was reverting everything, and I think that we cannot use nominatem anymore because it's not giving us the state code, but we need the state code because we want to. The problem here is we want to later on be able to. I mean, we could stick with the nominatum, although later on we want to be able to like visualize people from different states in Germany, right? So in order to get this visualization, we need to know where are people from.
Mm-hmm.
We need something that is unique. We could use the state, and we could stick with nominatum, but we would have to geocode all users again. Yeah, or not actually. Instead of using state code, just use state. Okay, I guess this is something for another issue.
Geocode.
This is, I think this is the easiest way. What was that?
Unknown command. How many users do we have?
Say it again, Faith.
How many users do we have?
We have 881 users at the moment.
Okay. States.
But actually, we should see this error on production also. No? Why we only see it now? I don't get it.
Is it not something that has been just recently because of the upgrade?
Yeah, but the boot server should be failing.
Sorry, that's been pushed to production? Oh yeah, you don't have, if it passes the test, then it gets pushed to production, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, what's now different with spec models? Oh yeah, that's okay. Sorry for being so. I'm not talking a lot because it's also difficult for me to see or to like concentrate and focus on what I'm doing right here, and so I'm not forgetting anything. And I'm also I don't know why this error is happening to us now instead of like why did we see this? I mean, maybe because of VCR, but I don't know exactly. So we rename this column here. Models 8 code. Oh no, this is the front end. What? Oh no.
What's wrong?
Okay.
Robot.
Yeah,
I'm dropping off now.
I'm dropping off. You're dropping off. All right. So see you soon, Faith, for the next
Okay.
meeting.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. We're gonna be pairing, Faith. We're gonna be pairing. Mike and I are gonna be pairing on the website one. Like beginner friendly ticket. If you want to join us later, we'll talk on Slack.
Okay.
All right. So let's. I will try to explain what's the problem here now. Like I think that we have something. We have an error in production now, and this error wasn't captured by the build server because
wow.
the tests were like we cached the response in our cassette. So it might be that the build server was doing fine, except that it was like receiving the response from the FreeGeoIP provider, which isn't there anymore, and it has become IP stack, and there's no FreeGeoIP provider anymore. Okay, and if we go into the production database, I would be actually interested in if there are some users whose state code plug code was like this. The default geo provider was changed from FreeGeoIP to Nominatum or something. And so I check if we already have. Okay, it doesn't seem like that.
Here we go. User where state code. So instead of giving us the actual state code, it's giving us just the state, which is not unique enough for like doing this kind of visualization here, because in this visualization, the respective controller is giving us it's merging the data with the state codes here from this GeoJSON file. And this GeoJSON file is located in, where is it? Public Bundesländer GeoJSON. Public Bundesländer GeoJSON. So if we go through state code, we see that we have, for example, BV, Baden-Württemberg, or BY, which is Bayern, Bavaria, and BB, which is Brandenburg, Hesse, and Mecklenburg-Vorpommern. Can you see it?
Yep.
And those have to match. So if we have in our data something like Berlin, this won't match. Okay? This is bad. This is not what we want. So I'm currently checking out who has the state code Berlin. There should be just one. Yeah. And it's a person which has been updated. Where is it? Updated at 2017. Okay, quite some time ago, November last year.
Yeah. I was expecting that to be more recent.
Yeah, and this one also, like, this is actually an abbreviation, but it's the name of the state itself, because NV is, yeah, we are having NV for North Rhine-Westphalia, and they are using NRV. This won't match either. Where is it? Too many tabs. Here we are. So NRV. This is me. This is myself. I was geocoded. Yeah, I live in NRV, like right now, at least.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a problem. This is a problem indeed. We can quickly rename that column and geocode everyone. Should be okay. Okay, so let's see, where are the traces of state code? We have them in our schema. We have them in our structure. This is okay. This GeoJSON file. Okay, let's go through the controller first. State code.
What does git grep do?
Git grep is doing git grep or in the Git index. It's very, very powerful. So you can search for a word like state code, and it will search through the entire Git index, and it will give you the locations where you can find it.
Okay.
So I'm now replacing state code with state in this file. This looks okay-ish. State codes. State codes. What I'm doing? State code state. Huh? No. RP state code state file. State. Why is it not replaced here? Let's say fardo state code. Okay, so it is actually replaced. States, yeah, that looks fine. State, okay. Okay, the same thing, state code. Up. Okay, let's do some kind. This is always very erroneous doing this kind of thing in an interpreted language. It's in serializers. App models broadcast. Oh. Models statistic. Last state code. There we are. The same thing again. State code. State this file. To me. It's state. Yeah. Okay, so the only thing is currently in this will be overwritten. This will be overwritten. This is the migration. This is okay. And the only thing we have to do is to fix it in the Bundesländer GeoJSON. But there we also have to fix the actual names for these states here. So farp state code state this file. It's actually in here. No, this is not on this file. This is like the Okay, we'll see. We'll see. What we're going to do now is in the migration itself, we're making use of this geocode user job. We even have like geocode user job for everything. I guess we can make use of that. So this one here is taking the user relation. And we don't need that because we want to geocode everybody. We want to indeed want to have all the users. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's do that. Okay, worked. So no changes. I was expecting that. So Sidekick is responsible for geocoding all the users in the background. Oh, we have so many errors. Okay, hang on. Stop. What's the problem here? Unhandled status code 429. Too many requests. Okay, so this is apparently because auth0 is just doesn't want to geocode so many users. Let's do that again. We currently annoy auth0 a lot because we have so many. Okay. So there are more and more users being processed. You see what's going on, Matt and Mike?
Yeah, but most of those that are being processed seem like they're failing, no?
Yeah, that's fine because we get HTTP 29, and auth0 just doesn't want us to process so many requests.
Yep. But if they're
There are always some jobs which are succeeding.
So you're using Sidekick to like see what's running and what's not. Or sorry, I forgot what it's used for.
Yeah, Sidekick is used for background jobs. And long-running jobs are, for example, when the backend does an API request. And the backend does indeed an API request when it's using the geocoder lookup. No. And where do we have more jobs? Yeah, so the geocoder uses perform. Yeah, so the geocode lookup does requests to IP info, and it does requests to auth0, as far as I know. Yeah, this one here, auth0 domain. So it's doing requests to the domain in order to get the last IP. And it's using this IP to geocode users. Wow, so many backend jobs, but it's becoming less and less. So this should be fine. So I expect that when we do the migration in production, we'll see a similar development. Like we have a lot of backend requests made then. There are many failing requests.
Yeah, that scared me.
Yeah, and 787 retries.
So it's like a backend monitor.
Where's the success? Like, I can see how many are processed and how many failed, and like the difference between those two are the ones that succeeded.
Yeah, actually, good question. I was wrong. I thought the processed is the success jobs. No, it's not. It's just the jobs that were either
like only
failed.
Like only 200 of the 3,000 have actually succeeded.
Yeah.
And only 700 of the 3,000 not succeeded have been retried.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if that number will go up though after it stops processing.
Okay, I will terminate it now. And I would like to see which of the providers are giving us this status quo, the status code. Or what's going on now? Nothing. Okay. Yeah, and I forgot to use Tmux again. Damn it. Okay, stop. The email was not found in auth0. Why? Ah! Okay. Sidekick clear. Yeah, some of the users are not in auth0 at all.
Really?
Yeah, because
How's that?
we migrated to auth0 at some point, and we still have users being in auth0.
Mm.
Okay. So this was something not quite correct. Yeah, this is actually correct. So this every user which has an auth0 ID, auth0 user ID, should be geocoded, because this is these are the only users who we can actually geocode. So I'm going to bundle exec capistrano production and pull the pull the production database into the development database. It's something that you cannot do because you have no access to the production database.
Okay, Robert.
Yeah.
Why did you decide on geocoding users, and how exactly do you achieve it? Like I've just been seeing all these. I think it's so new to me.
Yeah. So the problem is Geocoder changed his default provider, which I find absolutely annoying because it was changing the default provider already once. This will lead to, because they don't have the state code anymore, like the default provider doesn't have the state code. There's a solution of that we could change the, we could use a different provider which has the state code. But I would say let's just stick with the default provider and simply, I mean, we just need the state in order to have something unique. And if nomination something always gives us the name of the state, like the description, that's unique enough. We could also, I mean,
isn't this something though? Like, when did they change this provider? Because it seems like this problem was happening quietly without us knowing about it since 2017.
Yeah, sometime between 2017 and now.
Okay. It wasn't just with the latest upgrade.
Yeah, this one is by default nominatum. Do they have a list of nice services? Nominatum. Oh. Okay, where can I see a list of all available there, this is what I want. Street address lookups? No. I mean, this would be solution number 2. IP address lookups? No. Huh? I want to reverse. Okay. So every damn lookup provider has, and like there's no list of all lookup providers who have reverse geocoding. And they all only tell us which providers have no geocoding, but not telling us which have. Yeah, okay, let's just stick with the with their default geocoder provider, because it will have it will probably be the best configuration for not using any kind of API key. I will be back in a minute, okay? I'm leaving for a minute.
Yeah, cool.
Parents. Can we meet tomorrow? See you next week. Tomorrow. I'm coming tomorrow. I see you next week. I'm coming tomorrow. You come. Come on. I'll bless you, my friend. I just told you.
Is it actually something interesting for you? What I'm going to do now is to check the names of this provider and manually type it into this GeoJSON file. I guess it's just all the same.
There's not a better way of doing that?
Say it again?
There's not a better way of doing that?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah. Anytime you say manual, it sounds I don't know what I'm looking for.
Scary.
Yeah, scary is a good word. Like you couldn't like I mean I think manually look them up, but yeah, I guess I don't know what I'm saying. Just I think there's like a movement to automate everything, and I think you're a part of that movement. So, but I guess this is like a really special case that. I mean, I don't know. We are still recording as well, so I'm not sure if anyone is actually going to watch this video. But I think the fact that it's been more than 2 hours will scare people off. But we could. I don't know. I mean, I'm happy to keep hanging out, but
I'm still wondering if it's not the best to just use another provider here. Yeah, I would say let's just stop this broadcast because we couldn't reach our goals, not at all. Like we were running into some kind of test problem, which we couldn't solve. I hate when it happens. Like we wanted to do something completely else. We got blocked by something that is now in production, was not reproducible on our test server. We haven't been notified by this change because I mean we were using Dependabot. I should have seen it when I was doing the merge thing, you know, like geocode merge, and yeah. So this sucks. This sucks absolutely. I will try to figure it out. I will try to figure out when it was merged. Yeah, I think let's stop the broadcast for now, and I will investigate a little bit further.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, you know, it does really suck. I feel for you. I mean, you don't obviously for us, like you don't need to worry about like the fact that we got sidetracked because that's just part of software development, you know. Like I think unfortunately, like not everything goes the way you want it to go all the time, and we can't exactly like go on to doing something like improving a PR or like doing PR review suggestions when we have something in production that for quite some time that is a huge or a bug. I don't know how huge it is, but so yeah, don't worry about that. But I think that definitely all of us were able to learn stuff by just, I mean, I had never even thought about like opening up gems and dropping in binding pride there. I mean, I guess maybe I haven't ran into a situation where I needed to, but it's really interesting to watch you put the binding pry in there and go debugging and like I feel like I still don't know very much about geocoding, but like just having a watch at you play around and listen to you helps and is a first step, I think. So yeah, it's not all useless, you know. It's part of the job, you know.
I found the response of the pull request, and I'm considering just to revert that commit for now. It will probably be the simple solution in order also to get this bug out of our production server. I guess I will just revert it.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess the question I have is that like, I mean, it's not like that. That latest update of geocoder can't be the culprit of it, since we saw that we had like Germany in there as a state code from 2017 sometime, right?
No, you have to distinguish between state code and country code. Country code is fine. We still get the DE for Germany. We don't get the state code.
Yeah, I know, but like when you went in there and you plucked the state codes and asked for all the unique state codes, like you had there in that one that said Germany, and then you went and asked, you looked up the user that had the state code of Germany. Oh no, sorry, not Germany, Berlin. And yeah, did I say Germany? Sorry, state code of Berlin, and that was from 2017.
Yeah, instead of giving me BE, it gave me Berlin, just like that. And actually, I can see that the street address lookup was changed from Google to Nominatem. So there's hope. I want to share that at least. Maybe there's okay. Maybe we got sidetracked a lot, but I think there's hope. You know what? I think I just revert all of that. And
I mean, I'm still curious how, because I mean, if that pulling that Berlin state code has been in production like since 2017 sometime, like it seems it has been, like then
no, it was merged very recently.
Yeah,
9 days ago, just when it was released, and I apparently I didn't paid attention to this one here.
So, but why? So then, why was that Berlin state state code? That's not a state code. Why was that? So that was updated in 2017, correct?
Which one?
That one that you found, like doing user.pluck state codes .unique.
Yeah,
and
that's right. That's right. But maybe it was all fine up to now. Maybe the cassette was just fine for this provider Google, like until 9 days ago, because we still had these state codes.
Yeah, and the tests weren't failing since 2017. Like that would have been noticed.
I don't know. I hope.
Yeah, I mean that. So okay, so what you're saying is even though that Berlin state code was there, that maybe the way that Google dealt with that error is different than the way Nominatem deals with it, and so like maybe Google has a way of like gracefully or intuitively like dealing with that situation, whereas this Nominatem doesn't.
Yeah, so we have 3 different providers apparently. We had FreeGeoIP, which has closed its service a long time ago. Then this was changed to Google. Then this was changed to Nominatem. And apparently Google and FreeGeoIP are similar in the sense that they both return a state code, which we need. And then they changed from Google to Nominatem, probably because Nominatem doesn't have any restrictions to their API. So the idea now is just to revert this. What? Okay, maybe I can just manually change it. No. I will just downgrade to geocoder. Oh no, I don't have to downgrade at all, I think. I can still have it updated and just change instead of changing from FreeGeoIP to no, grab FreeGeoIP. Instead of changing that to Nominatem, I'll just change it to Google and see what happens. So we just have to fix 2 files. free GRP Google. And the last one was user spec and the request spec for that. What? Oh no, it's indeed the user spec, the model user spec. Google. And then see what happens. Remove spec cassettes. So this will like make a fresh request to the backend. Let's do it. So I hope that we will now receive the state code. You understand? You see what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So I hope that the state code is just very, very similar to what was in our cassette. If we now get some errors, over query limit.
Yeah, I've gotten those as well. I get those on local support, and I've even pushed the CI and gotten those as well. Like, I don't know if it has something to do with my, like, if different people have different API limits, but that might be why you're getting those failures. Yeah, look at that. And I looked a little bit into it, and it was talking about how there's a look at that. Wow. It was talking about how that it can be too many requests within a minute or whatever, or it can be too many requests for the whole day. You know. I'm not sure if you've ever seen this before.
Yeah, I mean, the query limit is not a big deal for us. We are not geocoding so many users at a time. I think we can still stick with Google for now, and just limit the amount of requests made to Google. That's way easier. It just never happens that we have so many requests at once. Let's see. So they should have a description of Google. There you go. Cool. The pay-as-you-go pricing, 50 requests per second. Per second? Terms of service. You must not use or display the blah, 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 blah. Huh? They have, you can send some API requests without paying anything or without an API key. API.
We no longer support keyless access.
But have cassettes been created? Yeah, there have been some cassettes created. Well, then just let's run it again. I mean, yeah. I don't know what API key we are actually using. What was the reasoning of?
Yeah, because I don't remember in the. I mean, yeah, maybe it's definitely the way LocalSpart uses it and the way you RFM uses it are different. But like, there's nothing in the getting set up for local development that says you need to add your Google API key like there is for LocalSpart.
I'm worried about using Google as provider.
Who's worried? Sorry, did you say you're worried or?
No, they don't. Here, de-Googleize. There you go. So it was the maintainer himself.
Does it give any justification?
Okay, there's no word about why he did that. Close an issue. And no discussion. Okay, so he was just the opinion that we can use an open source provider, which is great. I do appreciate that, but I mean, he was. You're losing this the feature of having the state code now. I mean, I would do the same thing, but
I mean, could we maybe put in a PR to change to request them to add a state code to nomination?
Yeah, but
nomination,
the nomination thing doesn't give us the state code. Like, it's not in the. If you do this, and you go into details, you actually see what's returned.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, like, put in a PR request for them to start giving a state code.
How? I mean, they can just take the data from the provider. They cannot.
I'm not talking about putting a PR to geocoder. I'm talking about putting in a PR to nominate him.
Yeah, but this will be difficult. I have no idea how nominating, and I don't want to, honestly.
Yeah.
Then we go right.
I mean, I guess the thing I was saying is that, like, you just had made a statement that it's great to support open source stuff, but then, like, there's always the tendency to complain about how it doesn't work the same way as, like, this massive organization or this massive company that has, multi-billion-dollar company. And part of the reason why things work better for people like Google is because they have a dedicated team of people that are making it better. Like, duh, it's better. They have billions and billions of dollars. So one way to support open source projects is to actually support open source projects, not just say, oh, it works better on Google, so let's use Google.
So I have to wait again. Okay. Anyhow, I have to look into it. This doesn't work either because of Google. I have to do more research, I would say. Let's stop the broadcast in any case.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's frustrating. The hope is that would just work, but that it caused another problem that.
Without reaching the quotas. I have to wait for another minute and so on and so on. I mean, all I need is to, like, make one request that will create this cassette, and then we can reuse the cassette without making any more requests.
Yeah.
Geocoding.
Is there a way you can make you can create, instead of creating one cassette with all the requests, you can break down it into separate, like, and break it down into chunks so that there's not too many requests per second?
Yeah, I could just run one test case, for example, and then repeat it after a minute or so.
Exactly.
That's created already. I can show it to you. Let's show it once more. So when I say get status, it shows me, okay, this was modified. I deleted that before. So if I say get diff now, it will give me the changes of the cassettes.
Yeah, I've seen this before.
This one was deleted. This one was deleted. this one was changed, and you see, let's nominate him again. How come? It shouldn't be nominate him.
No, you just changed that.
But this one here takes Google as a geocoder. Did I forget to? No, Google. Yeah, it's doing the search thing at some point. Okay, I will try to use Google then. Okay, let's stop the broadcast finally.
Yeah.
Before I get annoyed anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry for that. Sorry for all the sidetracking, but yeah, we had to fix this problem because it's
I mean,
was a little
like
bit.
I said, I don't think there's anything to be sorry about, you know.
Yeah, at least I could show you how to debug GAMS.
Yeah.
See you then.
Go.
Bye.
I'll see you soon. Thank you.